Have you ever reached the end of a busy day feeling exhausted, only to realize that you have not made meaningful progress on the things that truly matter? You answered messages, you attended meetings, you handled requests, you completed several small tasks. You moved from one activity to another without much rest. Yet, when you ask yourself, what important thing did I actually move forward today? The answer may not be clear. This is one of the biggest problems many people face. We often confuse being busy with making progress, but they are not the same thing. Being busy means that you are actively occupied. Making progress means that your actions are moving you closer to a meaningful objective. Activity measures movement. Progress measures advancement. You can be active all day without advancing anything important. Imagine two people. The first person spends the entire day replying to messages, responding to requests, attending meetings, and completing small tasks. The second person completes fewer tasks, but spends 2 focused hours working on an important project that directly supports a major objective. At the end of the day, the first person may have been busier, but the second person may have made more meaningful progress. The difference is not how much they did. The difference is what their actions contributed to. Busyness can create the feeling that we are productive because activity is visible. When we complete a task, answer a message, or solve a small problem, we feel that we have accomplished something. But completing a task does not automatically mean that the task was important. A task can be completed successfully and still contribute very little to your larger objective. This is why a full schedule is not necessarily a meaningful schedule, and a long to-do list is not necessarily a useful plan. The question is not only, how much did I do today? The more important question is, what did the things I did actually move forward? Many people do not intentionally choose what to work on. Instead, they react to whatever appears first. The newest message receives attention. The loudest request receives attention. The nearest problem receives attention. The most urgent demand receives attention. As a result, the day becomes controlled by external demands, rather than guided by a clear objective. This is called reactive activity. Reactive activity keeps you moving, but it does not always move you in the direction you want to go. Imagine getting into a vehicle and driving continuously for several hours. You may travel a long distance, but if you are moving in the wrong direction, the distance you cover does not bring you closer to your destination. Movement is not the same as progress. Progress requires direction. Progress can only be measured in relation to an objective. Before you can determine whether an activity is helping you move forward, you must first know what you are trying to move toward. Suppose your objective is to complete an important proposal. Then, working on the proposal may represent meaningful progress. But spending several hours organizing old files, although useful, may not be the most relevant activity at that moment. The activity itself is not necessarily bad. The issue is whether it deserves your attention before the more important objective is advanced. This is why productivity is not simply about doing more. It is about directing your limited time, energy, and attention toward what contributes most meaningfully to your objective. Before giving significant time to an activity, ask yourself 3 questions. First, what objective am I trying to advance? Second, how does this activity contribute to that objective? Third, if I spend time on this now, what more important activity may lose attention? These questions help you move from automatic activity to intentional decision-making. They do not mean that every small task must be removed. Some responsibilities are necessary even when they do not directly advance a major goal. The purpose is to become conscious of the difference between necessary activity and meaningful progress. When you understand the difference, you can make better decisions about where your attention should go. Being busy is not automatically a problem. Some days contain many necessary responsibilities. Work, family, emergencies, personal obligations, and unexpected events may require a great deal of attention. The goal is not to eliminate busyness. The goal is to prevent busyness from becoming a substitute for progress. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to review your activities. Ask, what did I spend most of my time doing? What did I actually move forward? Which activities were necessary? Which activities kept me occupied without contributing much? What important objective received too little attention? Do not use these questions to criticize yourself. Use them to understand how your time and attention were allocated. The purpose is not perfection. The purpose is clearer awareness and better decisions tomorrow. Being busy can make you feel productive, but activity alone does not guarantee progress. You can complete many tasks and still neglect the objective that matters most. Progress requires more than movement. It requires direction. And direction begins with knowing what you are trying to achieve and examining whether your daily activities are helping you move toward it. Before you begin tomorrow, ask yourself, which activities are moving you toward your objective and which are merely keeping you occupied?